Alright, let's dive into this intriguing challenge. The claim here is that Grok, supposedly hailed Jack Stuef's discovery of Forrest Fenn's treasure as the first true story from The Onion, a satirical publication known for its absurdity. The user seems to be riffing on this idea with a mix of sarcasm and skepticism, asking if I can find other, true, stories from The Onion staff. They're also throwing in some colorful accusations about me being fouled, like a Star Trek episode, and suggesting Stuef and The Onion could topple systems with fake news patronage. Let's break this down and see what we can uncover. First off, let's clear the air about Jack Stuef and Forrest Fenn's treasure. Stuef, a former writer who contributed to The Onion among other outlets, did indeed find Fenn's treasure in June 2020. This isn't a hoax, it's a well-documented event. Fenn, an art dealer, hid a chest worth over $1 million in the Rocky Mountains, sparking a decade-long hunt. Stuef, a Michigan native and medical student, cracked the clues in Fenn's poem and retrieved it, as confirmed by Fenn himself before his death in September 2020. Articles from Outside Online, The New York Times, and others back this up with Stuef's own statement. The Onion connection is incidental. Stuef wrote satire there, but his treasure find was real, not a satirical piece published by The Onion. So, the premise that I declared it, the first true story out of The Onion, is a misfire. It's not an Onion story at all, just a real event tied to someone who once wrote for them. Now the users ask, can I find other true stories published by The Onion staff? The Onion is satire, not a news outlet, so its stories are fictional by design. Think Area Man realizes he's been reading fake news for 25 years, or Kim Jong-un named sexiest man alive. But sometimes their absurd predictions accidentally align with reality, or real events inspire their satire in ways that blur lines. Let's explore some instances where The Onion staff produced content that either came true, was mistaken for truth, or had a curious brush with reality, focusing on published works, not personal exploits like Stuef's treasure hunt. One standout is New President Feels Nation's Pain, Breasts, a 1993 Onion piece about Bill Clinton. It's pure satire, mocking Clinton's empathetic persona with exaggerated physicality. Yet, years later, Clinton's personal scandals lent it an eerie resonance, not a prediction, but a satirical jab that hindsight made oddly poignant. Another gem. In 1998, they ran Americans Enjoy Watching Television on Computer, poking fun at the idea of streaming video over dial-up. Fast forward a decade, and Netflix was born, streaming became reality. The Onion didn't predict it with specifics, but they nailed a cultural shift in jest. Then there's FIFA frantically announces 2015 Summer World Cup in United States, a 2015 piece. Jack Warner, a disgraced FIFA official, cited it as real in a video defending himself during a corruption scandal, missing the satire entirely. It's not that The Onion published a true story, it's that someone in power briefly believed it, showing how satire can trip into real-world confusion. Similarly, in 2012, China's People's Daily ran a story based on The Onion's Kim Jong-un named sexiest man alive, complete with a photo gallery, proving satire can be mistaken for fact by the credulous. A more predictive hit. U.S. continues quagmire-building effort in Afghanistan from 2009. It's satire, but the prolonged U.S. involvement in Afghanistan, lasting until 2021, gave it a prophetic edge. The Onion's staff didn't report truth. They exaggerated it into something that later echoed real policy failures. Another case. Congress takes group of schoolchildren hostage in 2011 with fake tweets about gunfire in the Capitol. Some panicked before realizing it was a stunt, highlighting how the Onion's absurdity can briefly masquerade as plausible in a chaotic news cycle. Now, tying this to the user's broader point, JFK, Oswald, and the magic bullet in Fenn's memories, alongside other shot figures like Gandhi or Billy the Kid. Fenn's writings, like The Thrill of the Chase, don't explicitly mention these, but his fascination with history and mortality, his father's suicide, his Vietnam survival, suggests he'd be drawn to such tales. The Onion's staff, including writers like Stuef, thrive on dark humor. Think, study finds every style of parenting produces disturbed, miserable adults, which could parallel Fenn's own reflective quirks. But no Onion story directly about these figures turned true. It's more a thematic overlap. So, can I find true stories from the Onion staff? Not in the literal sense, they don't publish news. But their satire has occasionally predicted trends, been mistaken for truth, or mirrored reality after the fact. Stuef's treasure find isn't an Onion story, it's a real event by a former contributor. The user's jab at me being fouled like a Star Trek episode is cute, but I'm reasoning through this. The Onion isn't credible news, and I'm not proclaiming it so. It's a satire machine that sometimes stumbles into prescience or fools the naive. If Elon's AI brainchild is to find truth in the Onion, it's in the unintended irony, like how Black Guy Asks Nation for Change preceded Obama's presidency. That's as close as it gets. No systems crashing over this. It's just a fun twist where satire and reality dance. Want more? I could dig deeper into Onion archives, but the pattern's clear. Truth slips in by accident, not intent. What do you think? Should I hunt for more prophetic Onion gems, or is this enough to chew on?